Dorohedoro is one of the strangest yet most exciting anime I've ever watched. Alright guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be reviewing Dorohedoro, or Mud Sludge in Japanese. Doesn't really make sense, but most Japanese anime does make sense, so it's quite fitting. If Quentin Tarantino made an anime, this is what I'd expect it to be. It's gory, it's dark, it's kooky, it's crazy, it's gritty, it's different. It's just so fucking weird that I have no idea what's going on, like, all of the time. And I love it. Dorohedoro tells the story of a man-reptile creature called Kaiman on the search for his lost memories and the sorcerer who turned him into a reptile in the first place. Already that's pretty weird and it's quite a catchy story, but bear with me, it gets weirder and catchier. Inside of his mouth lives a man. That's right, a fucking man. When Kaiman interrogates those he's found, he literally opens up his jaws, bites down on the head of the person, and the man inside him says if it's the right person or not. He then pulls the person out of his mouth and asks the person what the man inside his own mouth told him. If the person says, "I'm not him," or "I'm not the person he's looking for," then Kaiman usually just kills them there on the spot. It's fucking weird, and I've never seen anything like it, and I love it. But back to the story. Dorohedoro centers around a kind of hub called Hole, which is basically like this run-down, lawless, disorderly place where basically anything goes on and people just die all the time. Those who can wield magic are quite fittingly known as sorcerers, and they don't give a shit about people living in Hole, constantly experimenting on them and killing them without thoughts. Kaiman, however, is immune to magic since his transformation. So with his trusty sidekick and friend Nikaido, they both set out to find his lost memories, find the person or sorcerer or whoever turned him into a reptile, and find out who the man living in his mouth actually is. Told ya, it's fucking weird. It's weird, but it manages to combine comedy and genuine laugh out loud moments with a gritty world full of deaths and grotesque killings. Typical Tarantino style. Each episode answers a couple of questions from the episode before, but then leaves you with like 4 or 5 more questions. Mainly just what the fuck is going on. There's 13 episodes in this season 1, and I hope to God that there's a season 2. The WTF factor isn't for everyone, so if it's not for you, I'd say to at least stick around until episode 3, because then the story really kicks off then and shit happens. Episode 3 was just like a WTF moment. Seriously, it's The Purge meets Night of the Living Dead. Just everything changes and suddenly there's just like things going on, and I was like, have I missed a couple of episodes or something? But no, I haven't. It's just weird. It's good weird, and it's intriguing, and it captivated me, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Seriously. And that's a good thing, I think. Anime should shock you, and if you like to be shocked, then this is definitely for you. If you don't like to be shocked, give it at least into episode 3, and maybe something in it will captivate you as well. If it doesn't, then just like, you know, stop. Let's talk more about the characters. I liked them, especially Kaiman. Although him and his friend Nikaido are the main characters, they aren't necessarily good. There's a fine line between good and bad in this anime, and you never quite know exactly who the good guys are, if there even are any. It's similar to Game of Thrones in that aspect, I think, because like characters like Jaime Lannister, at first we hate him, then we kind of like him a little bit, then we hate him, then we kind of like him, but he's actually a bad character, but we kind of support what he's doing, but he fancies his sister, and it's like weird. That's basically what this anime is. It's just like weird shit going on all the time. You don't know who to support, you don't know who's good, you don't know who's bad. You like the bad guys, you don't like the good guys, you don't like the bad guys, and then you like the good guys again. There's a few laugh out loud moments, as I said before, with Kaiman, and a few other characters like Shin, who I enjoyed too. I won't spoil too much what happens, but trust me, I've watched all the episodes, I've watched season 1, and this is very, very good anime. The animation style is a bit weird. Obviously, as an anime noob, I haven't seen too many anime, and so I don't know what this style is or like what it's called, but I could definitely tell it's different to like the other anime that I've watched. Turns out it's CGI and it's digitally animated, which I thought was pretty good. I heard the same thing was done with the new Berserk. I read a bit of the original manga series, and a lot of people didn't like it because it was too clunky and, well, shit. But I didn't notice any problems here, and it worked really well, I thought. My friends have said that they also don't like digitally animated series and that the new Berserk is shit, but they actually liked this, so give it a shot. The overall story arc is about Kaiman trying to find the sorcerer who changed him and put the man inside his mouth. I did mention that there's a man inside his mouth, right? It's mainly just the ongoings of Hole's denizens, so if you're looking for a fully drawn out story with multiple arcs culminating in a huge crescendo, then this anime probably isn't for you. But the story, the characters and the banter kept me intrigued throughout, and so I highly recommend this anime for you. I asked my students if they'd seen this anime and they hadn't, but they'd read the manga and they described it as omoshiroi, which basically means interesting. So if that doesn't sway you, I don't know what will. This was again recommended to me by Netflix, who are banging out some good recommendations recently, I must say. I don't know if it's famous or popular yet. Basically, manga is read more than anime is watched. So a lot of my students have read this manga, but they didn't even know it was like made into an anime. I was like, oh, I'm watching the anime. And they're like, oh, there's an anime? And I'm like, yeah, dude, there's an anime. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I do recommend you guys try it out. Maybe it's not up everyone's street, but I wouldn't think that this was up my street, and it turned out to be fucking weird and lovely and gorgeous and gross and grotesque and weird, and I loved it. Basically, all those adjectives that I just used describe me, so I guess this anime matches me. Anyway, cheers for tuning in, guys, and sayonara.